Hello. So this is Kevin the naughty kitten. You can see him right there, and he's about 4 or 5 weeks old. And you're probably wondering, all right, what the hell can this kitten teach us about business and life? He's not been alive very long, and he has started, as you would expect, a total of 0 businesses. Maybe when he gets older, he'll start a little, I don't know, a little business selling milk or something. So he's in a state right now where he is like super playful. Like you can see, everything is fascinating to his cat. If I get his little cat toy, you can see there, this is just endless fun all day long. Now, get some work done. Absolutely no chance. This is work. This definitely counts as work. Playing with a cat. This is like, how can I play with a cat all day and pretend it's work? This is my way of doing it. So you can see, like, he'll happily play with this thing all day. Now I've got an older cat called Gwen, who's like about getting on for the age of 8. If you put this like little hanging toy in front of her while she's sleeping, I might wake her up and just be, she'll just be like, meh. She won't even like raise her paw. She'll just be like, back to sleep now, not interested. And I feel like that's how a lot of us are as we get older in life. Like when we're younger, like when we're little kids, we're like the kitten is now. Like everything is fun. Even the slightest thing, like you go out for a walk and you see a duck, it's the most exciting thing in the world. But as you get older, you have to go to a walk. You go and see the ducks. Not remotely exciting. You're like, oh god, I've seen a duck before. So what? And it's kind of, I feel like this is how people are with business. So if you were like a little like 5-year-old child and you were able to start a business, you even all the big setbacks we get, all the times that we'd do a sales call with someone and they'd say no, we just bounce back and do it again. A bit like when like a baby's crawling and then they fall over, it just crawls again and it keeps on going until it's actually walking properly. And it's the same with the cat. Like the cat was trying to jump up this sofa the first day or so, couldn't do it. Now can jump up fine, albeit slashes half the sofa on the way up with his claws, but never mind. And this is what the cat's like. Imagine if a cat was like, okay, I tried to climb up the sofa once. Obviously, climbing up sofas is not my thing. That's what other cats can do, and I'm not one of them, so never mind. It'd be ridiculous, wouldn't it? But in business, that's kind of how most of us are. I can usually predict with fairly accurate, I was going to say accuracy, but you know what I mean, fairly high accuracy, when someone joins my program, how successful are they going to be by the end? That's a direct proportional. Kevin to appear on all videos now, please. I'll try my best. I'm not sure how that'll work on a lunchtime walk videos, but you never know. It's just like no one's even listening to me; they're just watching Kevin. But yeah, I was saying I can predict with like fairly high accuracy the people who are going to be successful, the ones who are going to be most successful in my course versus the ones who aren't, because that is directly proportional to the level of resilience. Because although I'm giving you the strategies to succeed and do well, it's not a direct line to A to B, at least not usually it isn't. There's going to be times when you'll make a post on Facebook and no one will respond to it. And you'll be like, this doesn't work, what's the point, I'm giving up. Or there'll be times when you might have a sales call and you think it's going to go really well, and then the person doesn't want to sign up. And you're like, if that happens, say, 4 times in a row, you might think, I'm no good at sales calls. I'm going to see if I can get a salesperson to do my sales calls for me, because sales calls aren't for me. Instead of just working out how to get it right yourself. Let's see, I'm going to turn this around now. Kevin can sit up here now. Kevin saw himself on camera the other day and attacked the screen. So we'll see how this goes. Ow, it's biting me now. So it's hard to do a live video with this level of barracking. I feel like a stand-up comedian who's having like all the audience shouting at him. Anyway, so I want you to take this sort of a very thinly veiled excuse to put my cute kitten on a video and think, well, how resilient am I? How easily do I give up? Not just in business, but in life in general. How excited am I to do stuff? Like I'm saying, I have a tendency to kind of be sometimes a bit cynical and a bit, not bored of life, but a bit like, oh, I've seen this before, like, so it's not exciting. There you go, my headphones are now the new toy. See how everything is exciting to this cat? Like, now a headphone wire is the most fascinating thing in the world. My old cat, not remotely interested. Unless I give it like a stick or like some dreamies or something, then she's excited. Otherwise, not interested in anything. This cat, on the other hand, really, really interested. Do not film with live animals. Well, I'm doing all right so far, I think, just about. Apart from getting a savage in, but I get that regardless of whether I'm on video or not. You see, okay, look at how happy he is. Look at how much fun this is just to like bite me and just do his stuff. But yeah, have a think like how resilient am I? Have a think about how resilient you are. Like how good a job are you about? How good a job do you do at bouncing back when you start a business and no one's interested, or you make a few Facebook posts about your new business and no one wants to hear about it, and no one likes it, no one comments, no one sends you any messages, or you make an ad and you don't get any sales and you spend a fortune. What happens next? Do you have a tendency to go a bit downcast and think, oh, I'm giving up? And then you do nothing for a few weeks. Then you see the next offer of like the person who's going to fix everything for you. You think, oh, maybe that's the one for me. And you sign up for that. Then you try that and that doesn't work instantly. So you get demoralized again. And then you go and try something else. You end up spending hundreds of thousands sometimes on... My cat just heard dreamies. Yeah, it is like the advert where the cat charges through the wall to get the dreamies. I found that's kind of true in real life. One of the few adverts that is actually is not false advertising. But yeah, I mean, people spend hundreds of thousands. I've had people come to me who spend like hundreds of thousands, presumably because they've gone from one course to the other, and it hasn't quite worked. Then they go on to the next thing, and they get all excited about the next thing, and that doesn't work instantly. Then they go on to the thing after that, and so on. And they never stick with one thing quite long enough. They're never resilient long enough to actually see success. And I saw this. I didn't realise I was like this, but when I first hired a coach in about maybe 2014 or so, I never realised, but I've been bouncing from business to business because I kept on having these, failing, and then I'd have about 4 weeks of motivation and hope, and I'd be really into it, and then I wouldn't be getting any sales, so I'd be like, this isn't working, what's the point? And then I'd move on to the next one. And probably the best thing about having a coach, like I wouldn't even say the coach was particularly good, but the coach just made me stick with the thing I'd said I was going to stick with, and I stuck with it for an entire year and finally started seeing success. This is what the cat's doing now. This is what I've got to deal with while I'm talking to you. But you know, I did come up with the idea of using Kevin in a video. So, hi Kevin. So yeah, have a think about that. I'm learning not to go downcast, says Maria. I now buy a kitten each time this happens. I'm often searching for answers. Yeah, so that is another option. It's not going to make you any richer, but it will maybe make you happier. Just get a kitten. Every time something goes wrong in life, get a kitten, and you've just got a house full of kittens. The only problem with kittens is they do grow up. They don't stay like this forever. But no, in all seriousness, how resilient are you? How good are you at sticking with it? Now, obviously, I'm not saying you need to strike a match on a bar of soap, and just stick with something that isn't working forever. You've got to learn the difference between not being resilient enough and being stubborn and pig-headed and just continuing to do something that isn't working. Obviously, you've got to know when it's not working and quit and do something else. But I think most people aren't in that category. It's a bit like the gym where people worry about overtraining. Most people have nothing to worry about when it comes to overtraining. The thing they should be concerned is not working too hard. It's like, I've been in the gym for 20 minutes and done 3 exercises. Ooh, I might be overtraining. I think I'll go home now. It's like, no, you're just lazy, like like me. There you go. Look how cute he is. Honestly, he just wants to play all day long. He'll play like this for half an hour, and then he'll fall asleep on me. And then he'll play some more and fall asleep on me. This is basically my life now, so, not too bad, is it? It's a nice way to spend your day. I used to go to work, for God's sake, and sit in meetings for 4 hours and talk about stuff I couldn't be interested in. This is a much better way to live, in my not-so-humble opinion. Anyway, have a think about it. Leave a comment on that. Like, where are you right now in terms of your resilience? Are you like Kevin, or are you more like the older cat who's just like, whatever?